All right, good afternoon, everybody. As Phil had mentioned, we're constantly looking to improve the experience, the simplicity, and the promotion of the content on digital codes, and specifically Digital Codes Premium. I'm going to flip now to our staging environment. So this is not live yet. This is an advanced peek of some of the features that the team has been hard at work on, but to share this with the group and ask for some feedback once I had finished this. Uh, but the mentality behind is simplicity for the user experience. We had heard from a lot of feedback that the toggle was unintuitive. Users that didn't have an onboarding or a training to recognize its true purpose would have looked right past it. And so those signing in as premium weren't understanding why the title results weren't immediately coming up and available to them. So what we've actually started doing is what we call a consolidated search. Within the dropdown, it stacks both types of searches in the same results set. So the user doesn't have to choose one or the other. They're able to see both types of results in the same dropdown, and depending on their access, are able to take advantage of either set based on their use case. So again, starting back at the beginning, I am not signed in. So as a basic user visiting the site, what I am seeing here is the existence of the content search, making sure the user understands the benefits of it. It's going to serve up some of the more popular searches that are trending across the site from other premium users. And then it's going to make sure that I'm aware as an end user, there is a free 14-day trial that's available to me to sign up for and to see what this premium difference is all about and really kick the tires and take advantage of it. Underneath that are the popular or the trending titles across the platform. And these will be accessible to jump into any of the title landing pages for the individual users. As I had mentioned, this is a staging environment, so that's where you're going to see some of these content titles that are still under construction or with titles that haven't been uploaded. But when this does get moved to the production environment, all of that will be present. And the idea with these is as you click through, same behavior, this will take you directly to the title landing page so that if there is a basic allowance, the user would be able to open the contents and view all of that again in read-only format. Um, you'll notice this did sign me in. This is because I had signed in from the other tab in production. Our systems are single sign-in. So this picked me up, so I can actually switch here in real time to the premium experience. But I did want to point out, just comparing and contrasting the title landing pages, you'll notice we've made some changes here. The sidebar on the right gives the user a little more insight and guidance as to what titles they have premium for versus what titles they have basic. Gives some actionable items to get them integrated with the feature set. Quick start guide, calling out some of the new enhancements, some of the new features. And then you've all found the webinar today, but for future ones upcoming, we have a nice prominent webinar page that we're going to be adding to Digital Codes. So you can always see the next upcoming webinar as well as accessing the recorded instances of previous webinars. But coming back here along the top, because I'm signed in, because I have premium, you'll notice I have the advanced search button immediately available to me now. And what that's going to do is give me a direct inroad to this content search page. So even before I enter a search term, if I'm a power user and I know I want to narrow down to a specific category, year, or title, I can take advantage of advanced search, come directly to this page, and start filtering my results set appropriately. If I'm like most users, I'm going to click here into the input field and I'm going to enter my search term. And the big difference you will notice is not only is the toggle gone, but so is the drop down restriction of what we have in production today. So instead of requiring the user to search for contents across a single category, now the user has the ability to find those content results across their entire premium library. And for those that have premium complete, that growing number of titles, as Phil had alluded to earlier, 730 now and growing, that's a large result set that you can take full advantage of for finding the immediate occurrences of the keywords. As a signed in user, even before I touch my keyboard, it's going to serve up the 5 most recent searches that my account has performed across the site. So if there are common searches, or let's say, for example, you're performing a search in the office and you take your laptop, you go out into the field and you want to continue where you had left off, that search term is going to be sitting there waiting for you at the top of the stack without having to retype it. Additionally, the most recently viewed titles, so those you were accessing most frequently, are going to be listed out here at the bottom. And as I type, we can see in real time, it's going to match against this to lead me to a result set the system thinks is relevant based on my keywords. We have heightened the experience a little bit to use bolding so that the terms that are matching what you've typed are in plain text, and then the difference or the leading terms to lead you to a more specific value are bolded here to allow you to visually differentiate that quickly. I have the option at any point to hit enter, which will conduct the search with means of egress. Or if I am typing based on a longer string, it's going to give me some of those recommendations here, mean temperature difference, mean radiant temperature. And when I perform this search, we can see that it is going to return all relevant matches across the entire set of titles in Premium Complete. So this one being a more specific result, it's 65 occurrences. And the benefit is the backend relevance computation is going to serve these up based on what's determined as the best match. So for mean radiant temperature, section 53221 from one of our thermal environment conditions for human occupancy title is deemed the best occurrence for this. As we scroll down, we can see that that is a popular title for the specific term. If I were to go back to means of egress, a more generic term or a more common term like this, you can see that the result set is going to be much larger as opposed to the 65 results. The cap here would be 10,000 results. But again, very large result set being returned in a relatively efficient manner. And we can see here leveraging the breadcrumbs that it's a lot of the most recent I codes that are served up to me as the strongest matches. Depending on your use case, if you're searching across all titles, this could be a very, very relevant way to consume these results. The advanced search term still provides access that we had looked at from the production environment today, where the default is still exact phrase, but you have all these words, any of these words, none of these words if you wanted to omit. All these four combinations can be used together. So you can say, I want these words, but not this word to get your result set smaller. And then we do still have the near search or the proximity search that's available to users. Additionally, you have facets here on the left-hand side to allow you to rapidly narrow down your result set within specific categories or within specific titles. So if I click on this, for example, as a Premium Complete user, this is going to serve up every category that has content within my Premium library. If I want to search this just across the I codes or just across the commentaries, for example, I can use this checkbox and it will real-time refine the result set. From my 10,000, it's going to filter out anything that's not part of the commentaries, and we can see we drop that all the way down to 4,400, whereas each one of these breadcrumbs is identifying this as being a match from the commentaries. Additionally, I can use these filters to drill down even further. It's the 21 commentaries I care about, and if I want to go all the way down, I can even narrow it to an individual title to get the result set aligned with exactly my use case. And each time we do that, we can see the result set becomes smaller and smaller. Within the searching here, each individual section match also gives you premium tools to take advantage of. This first icon would be the same action as clicking on the header, which will take you to that specific section within the chapter view. So you can see the contents not only of this section, but those that come both before and after it. Copy the section to clipboard becomes really valuable if you are integrating this text with other applications such as permitting softwares where you may need reference to this section. Single click will get you all the text where you can then paste it into the other application. While we're always promoting digital transformation, we do recognize there are cases where a print equivalent is necessary, whether that's a cheat sheet being created for study purposes, whether that's an appendix being provided with a permitting solution. Um, Digital Codes Premium does support printing on a section by section basis. It'll generate as a PDF. So you can see the full text is here. It is copyrighted in alignment with the fair use rights, but this will allow you to either print or download and have this copy available to you. And then you also have the link sharing. So this can be sent to any other user. In order to open this link, it should be called out that if the title doesn't have a basic allowance, the user would have to have premium to see the content. But when serving calls or servicing requests over the phone, this becomes a much more efficient way to share access and ensure that both the requester and the recipient are looking at the same chunk of text to get through to the answer. And last but not least here is bookmarks. So if there's a number of sections that are relevant that you want to circle back to, you have the ability to create a bookmark and classify it with a project tag right here from the search results page. And then last but not least, we talked about the filters to refine your result set, but you do have controls as well based on how many results you want to see per page. So if you want to take advantage of the pagination, you can keep these as smaller result sets. And I'll just show scrolling to the bottom is where you would find the pagination to step through. Um, if you're comfortable with a lot of scrolling, you can actually increase this all the way to 100 results per page. I'll pause there to see if there's any questions just based on everything we had just shown.
No one has asked, posted a question in chat, so
Okay.
we can move
Uh,
forward.
Sounds good. The one other filter I will point out here is the ability to narrow down by type of content. So those familiar with the I codes, the majority is text, but there are a number of tables, of figures, of equations. If you're looking for a value you know resides within a table, you can actually filter your results set to say, just show me tables in the results. And this may be a bad example. Yeah, so we don't have any specific ones within the commentaries, but if we remove that classification, we should be able to see some table results here that are relevant for means of egress. And again, if you know the type of text you're looking for, it's another very useful way to get directly into that content. Figures would be another valuable use case here, that you can see just the graphical elements that occur across the titles as opposed to going through all the sections. And then in addition, the one other thing I wanted to point out with these changes and these enhancements is not only search, but promotion of the breadth of content that's available on digital codes. The name suggests codes being I codes or even the state codes, those titles that are adopted and enforceable for a specific location. But Digital Codes Premium is much more than that. Digital Codes Premium aims to be the one-stop shop for everything you need to know about understanding, applying, and enforcing those code requirements correctly. And so these markers here on the landing page are meant to provide more of that context, that we do have the I codes, the most widely adopted and used model codes across the US. Um, but within those, there's a number of standards that are referenced that are necessary for full picture, full requirements of applying as the code is written. And ICC has been aggressively partnering with SDOs, standards development organizations, to gain access to those contents, digitize and host those alongside the codes here on Digital Codes Premium. And so you have the ability to see all those SDOs that are available, the growing set, and jump into those with a single click where you can see the available titles for each one. The locations gives you a grouping by state as well as by country. So if you're coming here for a specific location, you can jump directly to that state to see what codes are available relevant to that use case. We've got our commentaries here, which includes a description aligned with each individual section on how the code reads and how that's relevant to you. Resources really becomes a valuable area for understanding how the codes are written or how they've evolved over time. Some of the types of titles we've been adding here most recently that we're really excited about are the essentials and the study companions that have previously only been available in print formats through ICC. Those are included now on Digital Codes Premium, along with the significant changes and the revision histories. So all of these provide supplemental context to the codes and applying them correctly. Um, Topics is our opportunity to keep growing the content groupings based on relevant application. So PMG, offsite construction, structural design allow you to jump directly to specific use cases. Publisher is as we continue to expand, bringing in third-party content. Wiley, SEOC, ICBO are a couple of examples there. And then the collections. And this is a growing set of predefined or pre-common titles that are grouped together. And when considering Digital Codes Premium, premium singles allow you to go a la carte, where it's title by title, but there is a significant cost savings considered when you select one of our pre-bundled collections and take advantage of that. And one of the common questions we get is when considering a collection, what titles are a part of it or what makes up that collection? And Premium Complete being the highest tier, but it is still a collection at the end of the day. And our new collection landing pages provide a lot more context to make that valuable to the end users what constitutes a collection. So what's nice is Phil had alluded to this title is, or this number, excuse me, is always changing, but we have this now reflected in real time, how many titles are included when we say premium complete. So 741 distinct titles within this collection. And right here, we can see each one of those collections listed out. The show more will continue to render more and more as you click on them. But even this, it becomes a very long list very quickly. So the search capabilities here allow a user who's interested in a specific title to verify quickly and easily that that title is in fact a part of this collection. And you can see it does refine here. Scrolling down, Premium Complete specifically has exclusive titles that can only be accessed as a part of the complete collection. So we do list those out here. And then we've got a couple other regions here with the recently added. So you can see as ICC is constantly expanding what the most recent additions are. And while they are few, there are exceptions or exclusions from what's available on digital codes and what's included in Premium Complete. And so we do want to be transparent about that. So we list those out. Most of these, all of these, in fact, are third-party contents. They can be purchased and added onto your premium subscription, but it would be in addition to Premium Complete. And so this allows you to see what those titles are and add those in if desired. Okay. And then the last piece is paralleling what we had just looked at on the landing page, our menu functionality. Whereas if we go to production, today it's a single find codes option to see everything that's available on the platform. The new design gives a lot more control to drill down to these groupings so that the user can target the text they're interested in and be taken directly there. Standards, for example, um, eliminating a lot of additional clicks. And then we are spotlighting the premium tool set as well so that the users can take full advantage of all of these rich features that are available inside of premium.